I want to get a system going here that we can keep applying. Because I'm not sure if you tune into what these, the alt-right professors and Jordan Peterson are up to, but they pretty much walked right into the web. They lost they lost everything. They don't even know how much they lost yet. That's fine. I really don't care. I'm not going to wait for them to pick up and taste and savor each piece and, spit out a bunch of vowels and symbols about it. Because that's just mischief making. I leave people like that dead in their wake in confusion, and I just go right around them. So the job is done. Everything's finished. Whether people want to believe that or not is totally irrelevant. Now the next objective is to keep the West dead, to keep America dead, and it leads to basically anarchy. So the system, will have. Without saying too much, we'll have more rights, more power of the people, more ways to deal with even just like a subversion. Somebody telling you, I can subvert your constitution or subvert your country. We have a system in place where we don't need to fear any of that shit. We don't even have to pay attention to that shit because it would all be laughable nonsense. And then the laughter's medicine. We literally just be laughing at these fools. Like, yeah, right, okay, whatever. And there's a whole system, there's like magic and shit in there. Without saying too much, that's just what I'm gonna start doing. That's how I live my life. I don't have a problem with police. If the police, come fucking sniffing up my ass, it's really not a problem. There's certain ways that I handle that. I don't like to be invaded psychologically by these fucking doctor weirdos. So we're going to get rid of them too. And create ways where you can embrace who you are, your flaws, embrace everything about yourself. And you'll use your flaws and you'll make your mental illness look good. You'll turn it into a good thing by using it against these fucking mind predators that just want to get into your fucking mind and shit a bunch of RNA virus crap into your head and demon seeds. So you'll go back to their videos and tune back in. And, they beguile you out of your senses, so you think that they know what's going on. They cherry pick stuff, so then you think like they're smart, but they're really not. They mention vague bullshit like, oh, Nietzsche void, Nietzsche's abyss, and then they end up dying in nihilism anyway. That was Jordan Peterson's whole big thing. And all they did was talk fucking bullshit and rhetoric, and ended up, now he's preparing to go into Marxism or some shit. I don't even know what that dude's really up to. I looked at his page the other day. He was arguing with some guy about Marxism for fucking 2.5 hours. If you gotta argue Marxism for 2.5 hours, you are a fucking Marxist already. They're gonna come stomp your doors down. What are you gonna do, babble at them for 2.5 hours? They're just gonna go right around to some other sensible people. They're not gonna do that. By the time you turn around, you have a whole country of Marxists, and fucking Jordan Peterson standing there like, well, I guess I'm next. There's that time that I've been running away from my whole career, that postmodernism loss. He basically fell into the void a long time ago. If you look in the Bible, it says that people will fall into these pits, these blind guides. He's fallen into so many pits. And when he does, he just has to eat his words. He has to eat his basically his model that he's presenting to you, which are his ideas. I'm not giving you ideas, I'm giving you an immutable platform that you can make your own ideas to tie into. So you don't even need to follow anybody. You don't need to really tune in. It's just gonna get your mind open so you can do this stuff yourself. So you don't have to keep tuning into these plebs like Jordan Peterson or other people that throw all that movie junk in your face. Try to act like, oh, we're Merlin's last laugh now. Those people are fucked up. And that's what you got to do. To your enemy, you have to interrupt their timing, because they'll start putting that in their head, but they're in the wrong time and place for doing that. So all they're really going to do is create more ignorance, is create more neglect. and we're gonna marry them to their silence, because that's the whole strategy here. Is that I don't need a Second Amendment. I'll just marry you to your fucking silence and put a bunch of fucking words and shit in your mouth, and you won't be saying anything anyway. It's almost better. You have the illusion. Then they have to contend with the illusion of that they're saying something when really they're not saying anything. The illusion of, well, why would a constitution continuously protect somebody that's not saying anything? You see, so like a lot of people in America, they're not saying anything. What is the Constitution really protecting? If I come out and just spout off a bunch of Pee Wee Herman shit, there's nobody there. Both are nullified by bullshit. So, there's ways to do all that too. It's like, I call it Trinity trapping. You can trap people's Trinity and, you polarize their mindset. They're going to try and do it to you either way. Call it fear mongering and all sorts of other shit. So you might as well get the jump on them and do it to them and start preserving yourself from these fucking psychopathic whack jobs that want to dig in your head and inject their fucking mind sperm into you. So sit there and fucking lay Cthulhu eggs and shit. All that shit, it's out the window. You make like comic books and shit about that to keep the awareness there, but nobody's gonna be actually like living like that. Cause it's what's the word? Oh, there's a word. It's hilariously stupid. It's retarded. And that's what it does. It stunts growth and everything else. And then what I'm gonna do is build a streaming ethos. Because it's its thermometer, and you take the temperature of this society, you get a gauge on how things are in the culture, and then we'll preserve our ethos and things like that. So these other motherfuckers can't just come in, stomp a hole in your head, and then say, oh, you need to come in for some government courses, some professional psychiatric courses. They don't even know what the fuck they're doing anymore. Are they doing drugs? Are they doing psychology? Which one's going to be better? Which one does the Overman, Superman, Nietzsche form? Isn't psychology? Oh, well, let's just take drugs. So things are like, they're chaos. They're a carnival, like a circus at the moment. But we're going to use that to our advantage. We'll use it to our advantage. That's what it is. It's basically something for the people. It's not something for people to just talk about. So if you think about the math here, you have people seeing more now with symbolisms and everything. They're seeing more than they ever saw. But trust me, they're becoming more divided. They're not hearing twice as much now. They're going to be twice as ignorant, especially if and then in the end they're going to be like, that was a Merlin's last laugh. You're so stupid. And that's all they've done. That's all they've done the whole time, and it shows. They still can't get the ad hominems out of their mouth. They still can't ask questions. I've never met bigger fucking cowards in my whole entire life. They can't even ask a question. Grown men, nonetheless. Fucking, you grown men, and all this upside down and backwards is called warped in the head. Brain damage. All you grown men out there, you're not grown men. You're fucking bitches. You're a bunch of fucking cucks. Okay? You lost your whole fucking country so you could sit and fucking cuck around at a Richard Spencer's concert and mock somebody that gets shit on and punch Richard Spencer in the face. Like, that's all it takes. Some dude that gets shit on to just put your leader away or whatever the fuck. And then he stops running his mouth. So, there's a whole lot of plans in the works. And the alt-right has failed to take my platform and destroy it. In fact, it ends up spreading like a plague, and then everyone else wants it. And there's more to it than it. It is kind of what you give like peasants and peons, and you hang them with the language. You can like hang them with a language noose. It's pretty crazy. I think English is the only language out there that allows the entire exploitation of English itself. Once you learn English, the language like exploits itself, and you have like this other language. It's like it's kind of sinister and evil, really. So you just take people by the language and cinch them up and toss them over into some other country that's going to pay the money to keep America the way it is. And that there's no constitution. That's pretty much all it is they just start taking control of people by the language, everything they're speaking. So we can prevent all that. We can raise awareness about all that. There's a whole bunch of stuff we can do. But what people are doing right now is like nothing. They're fucking jacking off jism in a comic book strip.